No, that was a crazy debate, man.
Dude,
What did you think about it?
I think, dude, I don't even know what to think. I mean, I say they just settle it on Augusta. They're arguing over the golf swing, who's got a better golf swing. Dude, Biden said he'd play with him. He said he'd play around if Trump carried his own bag. Dude, if Biden carried his own bag, there's no way. There's no way Biden makes it 18 holes at Augusta carrying his own bag.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
think
way.
I may actually pay for the pay-per-view if they have Biden carry his own bag for 18 holes.
He's gonna die. He
Yeah,
would
there's
die.
no way.
He would just fall over. And he said he shoots a 6 handicap. So, by the way, I didn't understand what that meant. So, what is a 6 handicap? Okay. So, a golf handicap number that represents a golfer's score based on all his other scores. So, if your handicap is 0, that means you shoot par, 72. Okay. Any stroke over that is or handicap, higher number, stroke over par. So Biden said he shot a 6 handicap, which to like better than amateurs on the tour. Just high 70s, low 80s. There's no way.
Yeah, maybe back in the day that he did that, but there's no way he did that recently. It's not possible.
Do you think they would ever do it like actually like
No, they would never do it, but not before the election. It's too important.
we had the earliest debate like ever though.
And
But that's interesting.
Trump's that two-time club champion, man. What are you talking about, man? Trump had
I
to
bet
put
he
that
is.
out there. He had to make sure he had to let everyone know. Don't play with him.
Dude, it's just weird. Like you got the guy that like he's wearing the red tie, and you got him like wearing the blue tie. Like I don't know, dude. Biden's like side of his head's like going up, dude. He might just be a clone.
I think they
It's
had to
crazy,
put
dude. It's like a
makeup on
puppet.
him.
It's like a puppet show.
I think they
Yeah,
had to put makeup on
but
him
it
to
looks like it went like up,
yeah, they probably
like
did some
stapled.
real work on him to make him not look so old.
Dude, that speedball concoction that they gave him. There's no.
There was like
what
a minute
like.
section I watched and he didn't blink. It was kind of concerning. It was real.
So he's either a clone or like on the best drug, like purist. You've like they don't sell it. They sell it with fentanyl now, but like he had
Yeah.
like just like
I don't know. He was struggling a little bit, and like the ABC News people afterwards literally were saying like they're literally talking about replacing him. Like
that was
it wasn't
crazy.
good because I mean I don't think he sounded too great to be honest with you, but I don't
I
know.
don't think he
His
did
eyes
either.
were. It was concerning.
Something's not right with him, man. I don't know. It's just like it's sad. Like I don't know. He's just not there. Like
No, I
that was
feel
your
bad. Yeah.
like if that was your grandpa on stage, and you're like, oh, dude, yeah. Like there's just like that's just not nice. Like that's just not fair, dude. That's how I like that's how I almost like I feel bad. Like I feel bad for him at this point. Like he didn't know what the hell he's saying.
Yeah.
You think he had an earpiece in?
I don't know. He definitely was poking at his ear a little bit a few times, but I doubt it. Uh, I think it's surprising. I think it was funny. They did a good job most of the time not arguing, but they did get to arguing about damn golf. The
Dude,
whole of all things, arguing about
that
damn
is
golf.
so fun. I know
I've seen your swing.
we have children dying like across the world, and they're gonna, which isn't funny, and they're arguing about the golf. And it's
Yeah.
like, what are we talking? What are we?
I was a
Talking
6
about? And it was
handicap.
funny though.
Nope. I was an 8. I lied. Okay, it was an 8. All right. We believe you, Joe.
Off the tees, dude, Trump is whooping that ass every time. There's no way.
I want to see Biden swing a golf club. Like I
Have
would
we
love.
seen that?
I would
Is
love.
there-
I would love for just they would have like a campaign, like an ad, have him go out there like at the driving range or something.
I mean,
I don't think they'd do it. I just don't think he could do it.
Trump's gonna find a bad golf swing. Watch, that's gonna be his next campaign video. Like what was the Bidenica or whatever
Yeah,
the
yeah,
medicine
yeah.
commercial.
Biden's in
It's
it or
just gonna
something.
be like Biden just hitting it fat as hell. Just yeah, that's gonna be the next. That's gonna be the next one.
Yeah.
But
No, it's interesting, man. Another thing that I've always, and this was something that beforehand that I thought he was going to bring up, but Biden talks about this suckers and losers, claiming that Trump said this at some military memorial, basically
yeah,
saying
the World War
he
He's
didn't
there
want
with
to
the
see it.
4-star general, and Biden said he told the general that they're all a bunch of suckers and losers.
Yeah.
Like all
He looked at the 4-star general and said the World War One veterans are suckers and losers. That, according to Biden, that's what he said. Uh, Also, according to Biden, I want you to look this up, please. He said at the very beginning of the debate, they had no troops died during the his administration, and I was just gonna just look up if there was troops that died when we left Afghanistan under Biden, because I'll get the Trump quote here, but I'm pretty sure he said it was 13.
From the pullout.
Yeah, when we pulled out, there was 13 troops that died in Afghanistan, but allegedly there's been no troops that have died. So that's it's very interesting. So someone's lying.
Here's what I got. 2 years ago, President Biden's catastrophic withdrawal from Afghanistan led to the deadliest attack on Americans in Afghanistan since 2011, killing 13 of our brave service members and wounding many others.
Yeah.
13 on the dot, unfortunately.
So that's interesting there.
They were killed by ISIS suicide.
Yeah, I think one of the things that was talked about was how we had an air base basically. It's like the closest air base to Chinese, like where they make their nuclear facility shit.
Okay.
And now that we pulled out, that the Chinese are running that air base.
That's great.
So that's always a good that's a good sign. That's what we really need.
Fantastic.
Just let them get everything more efficient and better for all their nuclear capabilities.
Dude, I heard they're
that's
buying
what we're looking
homes.
for.
I heard the damn Chinese are buying real estate all up in here.
Mm-hmm.
That can't how is that even allowed?
Dr. Phil he has like a chart.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
He shows like the areas like these are major where they're buying up farmland, and he pops up like major nuclear sites and army bases and things, and they're really close. It's definitely something it's interesting.
That can't be good. Who's for that? Who's like, let's sell the land to the Chinese?
Well, there's arguments that are good for selling land to like foreign places and for investment purposes, but it's when it starts becoming like, all right, what's going on here? But I think it was the Huawei phones or something like that they ended up having to recall because there was spyware and stuff, and those were the same things.
Dude, they spy on everything, dude. You can't take a fart without being like facial tracked, like methane tags.
Yeah,
like right out. Dude, they're already pushing towards like a social credit score, dude.
Yeah,
like you have like a thing over your head that it tracks, and like you do something bad, it's like
I think that's going to be the end of like humanity if we have a social credit score system.
Well, you see, like with social media, even with like followers and like how that like affects people, and that doesn't even like determine things like in the real world, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But your social credit score like would.
Yeah.
Like that would determine like where you can go and what you can buy and like the things you can do. So it's like, yeah, I don't know, the way people like react to followers, like the way they would try to get like a high social credit score, it would turn into like a whole fake like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a Black Mirror episode on it. We'll have to watch.
No, 100%. I think it's scary because like, I mean, I've seen videos in China where they literally have like you walk across the street, and if you like jaywalk and like walk too late, boop, it'll literally like pop your name up on the screen and like say like deduct your points or whatever.
And that's insane. I mean, what's their argument for that? Like it just like decreases crime?
I don't know about decreases crime, but you can track everything that way. Like you can, it's an argument for security that they'll end up trying to make at some point. But speaking of China, bro, they talked about COVID. And the one thing Trump said, the mandates that Biden put on the vaccine were a disaster, which I think is a fair point because Trump put a lot of stuff in, especially like a bunch of money and the vaccine. But a lot of the mandates and different vaccination cards and things that we had to deal with were when Biden was in office.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting point. But I mean, COVID, I don't think either of them have a great argument on COVID, to be fair. But
what do
you think?
I think Biden and his establishment just lied to the American people. That's they said certain things about how it wouldn't pass, or if you get the vaccine, like you can't pass it on, or like certain things they would say about like the mask would like absolutely do things like. I feel like along with the mandates, they told lies to back them up. So then I have a problem with the mandates.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. They knew for a fact that they weren't the right things.
I got kicked out of class because like my dumb ass forgot a mask, and like
it doesn't make any sense.
Everybody's paying like out the butt to go to school, and you're like, and you show up and you don't got a mask that doesn't even work,
Yeah, it
and
doesn't
you
make
get
sense.
booted out. It's insane.
The mask blew my mind because like,
It didn't work.
yeah, well, it was proven that it didn't work. Like they knew it didn't work. We have kids on the team that if they have masks, like, and I don't want to say like it's all the time, but like there's certain there are ones that always be wearing masks, and multiple of them got COVID this year. And you're sitting there like, bro, it's not helping. Clearly, bro.
No, so
Like,
stupid.
what are you doing this for? Like, I don't know. And they knew that I think the vaccine was good for older populations where it was worth the risk because if you did get COVID, it was a good chance that it could be really bad. But other than that, it shouldn't have been pushed, and there was other natural ways that were just clearly just pushed away.
It's ridiculous to force it. It's there wasn't any date, like there was no long-term data. Like how can you force somebody to take something that you can't tell them what's going to happen in 5 years? Like that's just crazy to me.
Yeah, no, it was crazy, and I think there's actually an audio tape of Fauci talking about it, and he said if you inconvenience them enough with the things they have to do, then they'll drop their ideological bullshit. Was the term he used?
I think that's the whole.
So
Honestly,
I agree. I think that's what they try
I
to do
I think it was
because they never
planned.
made a federal mandate, but like they did everything up but that.
They
Like
would
they would
they would
fire
literally
you,
get on the
fire
news.
you. You can't do anything. You're the
Oh
problem.
yeah,
You're the
yeah.
worst ever.
You're fired. You're
Everyone who
gonna kill
dies is
your
blamed on you.
grandma if
Yeah.
you don't get the vaccine. It's like what the. I love my grandma. That's like you can't like that's just ridiculous, dude. Absolutely insane. I think it was planned. I think, like you were saying, with Fauci's
Allegedly, maybe.
messing up the ideology, I really think it was a test to just see how far
You
they
never
can
know.
they can cheat
I don't
people,
know.
man.
I don't know about that. I think it could have just been a mistake that happened.
Even so, it was so pushed. Like,
But they have time to. They have time they know before you do. So I think that's why you or before we do. So
but why
they
would the
can
left push it
have
so
a
much and the
plan.
right be so against it? Like, what? Like,
Well, Trump was all for the vaccine.
yeah, that has always been confusing to me. Like, too. Yeah.
Well, I think
I
the
mean, he
reason
kind of
is
had to be though.
exactly because if he was against the vaccine, every person that would have died, they would have sat and blamed every single death on him.
Right.
So this blood is on your hands, and blah 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 blah. You
Yeah.
could be helping right now, and you're. So he had to be behind it, and I think it was a good thing, and it should have just been used for the right communities. Like if you know that natural immunity is better, which people did know, and then you're just lying to the general public, then what's the point?
Yeah.
You just lose all credibility by doing that. It's
But like
insane.
forcing all the athletes like you, like making you
Well, yeah,
guys
they
have
didn't force us. There was people who didn't take it. I'm sure on the team.
really.
Yeah, but you had to go in there and basically COVID test like multiple times a week, like 7 a.m. Like they definitely made it. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
But like the professionals and stuff, they couldn't. Or I don't
I
remember.
don't remember. I wasn't a staff member, so I don't honestly know.
I don't remember.
But yeah,
I feel like some of them definitely couldn't play because they didn't have a vaccine.
there was people that got suspended for different things, but
Or like the bubble, dude. You remember the NBA
well, the
bubble?
bubble was interesting. Yeah,
That is crazy. They got in trouble for sneaking hookers into the bubble. You remember that? That's
they
funny.
did a lot of crazy stuff during COVID, but
It was crazy, dude. You got fucking. Can I say I'm not bad?
what?
You got
That's
like
fine.
just like people performing in like empty state. Dude, they had like the fake. They had like fake people in the stands.
That was
like
the creepiest to me. Yeah,
whoa,
the
dude.
fake people. You're like, bro. We know there's not people there, bro. You don't have to like. This makes it worse.
Dude, it's like weed, like real light. Like it's just like
you're like, God,
it's
that's
crazy.
horrible.
It's all just fake, dude.
Yeah,
That is nuts.
the Zoom of the people. I was like, okay, at least these are real people.
Yeah,
And it would be like different things, but the other one, you're like, what is going
Zoom
on?
was so funny when people didn't know how to use like Zoom, like what they call Zoom bombing and stuff. Like people be having like an official meeting and some kid like just pops up, like pops in there. He's just like penis, and like it's just like the city board meeting, and he's just like,
yeah, bro. I've seen too many videos like that. Those
dude.
junks are always so funny.
It was just
It's always the teachers go, who's doing that?
some kid just farts like right in the mic. It's just so funny. Like I don't know. It was just like nobody knew what to do. And I don't. And then everybody became like an expert. Like you would talk to somebody and they would just be like explaining like the biology of like the molecules of like the coat. Like you got to buy like this, but you're like shut the fuck up, dude. It's either anybody you would talk to, they would just get all of their information from Fox or just all of their information from like CNN. So
Yeah. You as soon as you ask one question, you're like, all right, I can answer every other question I ask you, just because I know what you're gonna say.
it's crazy. Like people, like you'll meet people, like you'll be like you'll shake their
Yeah.
hand, and they'll be like, "Are you for Trump or Biden?" You'll be like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?"
Have you ever met someone that like you're cool with, and then you figure out you're like opposite politically, and they like act a little different?
Like we both
Yeah,
find out at the same time that we're like different.
something like that.
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's happened.
It's always interesting to me because sometimes it's always just like it's like all right that this is a sometimes it's fun, then other times it's like yeah I really disagree right here. This is a problem. Like what's going on
I
here?
think it's funny. Like I don't like it will be different, but it's usually like not gonna be from like me. Like I'm not gonna act different, but like yeah, I don't know. It is interesting when you I guess with your friends when you figure out things you disagree with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've never been like, oh, I'm just like not gonna hang out like fuck with you anymore. Like that's not.
Yeah, no, I know that. But now one thing I did want to talk about because I think it's probably the biggest thing that we could talk about is the border, and they talked about it a little bit. And Biden always talks about this bipartisan agreement that Trump shut down and all this, and it's true. Like it's not untrue that that happened, but the truth of the matter is that Biden has the ability to shut down the border without any of that legislation and without $20 billion. And I think that's maybe a reason that they didn't want to pass. And what do you think, bro? Because it's definitely a problem.
Okay, I just see you have a number of illegal immigrants entering the country when Trump is president, and you have a number of illegal immigrants when entering the country illegally when Biden is president, and it's changed astronomically. So obviously, like he did something different. So I don't understand why, other than to just get votes. What is their what is the purpose for their to have such an open border? Like, because obviously there is. Like, there's no argument that there's not like an open border. So it's just like why other than for them to be able to make them legal to vote and then they vote for them.
It's definitely a good option for the vote. And I think one thing that's interesting about the thing is both there was Trump did a little group panel with a bunch of like CEO business owners, like big companies, and he talked about giving people who come over on visas who graduate college like citizenship and letting them stay basically.
Okay,
Uh, and
that's
Biden
cool.
came out with something else similar, but with also other like 10 year if they're married 10 years and they get and one of them's a citizen and the other one's not a citizen, then if they're married 10 years, then they'll become a citizen. And it's not the worst idea, like in theory. Uh, but the issue is just the number of millions of people that have come in actually into the border that they're not keeping track of. They're not talking about.
They're
I think the biggest issue is the trafficking that goes on in those things.
oh gosh,
More
yeah.
than not more than, but it's probably equal to the amount of people that are in the border and those that are in the country. The problem that that's going to cause, because the economy with jobs, you already see in New York, literally the mayor of New York, like, and this was like 2 years ago. It was literally said he was like, this problem is going to destroy New York City.
But originally he was like, "You're welcome to come."
Yeah, the Statue of Liberty says all is welcome.
He was making a big deal like and weren't they like handing them out like thousands of dollars just like
A bunch of money. They got a cell phone. They get a
dude,
plane ticket wherever they want to go.
I should have dressed up as a fucking immigrant, dude.
Hey, bro. It's crazy, man.
I
But if
just
you fly over, because listen, I was told just the other day I was talking to one of my buddies, one of his buddies has a friend who's from South Africa and came over, graduated college, was a college athlete, and now has to go back because he doesn't have a reason to keep his visa. But you can just walk through the border. But if you came here, go to college, be a college athlete, we're successful,
insane.
you got to go back. It blows my mind.
That's a problem. I have no problem with legal immigration. I think it's awesome. Like I think it's the land of opportunity, dude. Like anybody should be able to come and like make a name for themselves. Like that's the whole deal, dude. Like it gets me fired up. But it has to be like a process, and there has to be eligibility requirements to get in. Like if you just broke out of a mental institution or like a prison and you're like on the run, like nah, man. Like we're probably not gonna
We
like
don't want you. I'm sorry.
like
That's unfortunate.
let you in. Like if you're a refugee and like you're fleeing the country, and that's also the problem. And it's strange how bad the immigration system like is, like how slow it is, because that's what's messed up. People are waiting on visas for years. Like people that try to do it the right way are waiting for years, and that's a problem. Like that's
I never hear anyone say let's fix that or a way to fix it.
me either.
That
is how you fix it. You saw like you solve the eligibility, the criteria, the filtering. I mean, yeah, dude. If a mother and child are fleeing, like a war country, and they go through the steps, and I mean,
we should try to get them here.
They should be boom, and then they're in. And I don't know why that's not an option. Like it's either like let the border completely open or like completely close the border.
Well, it's clearly not an option. Like we've had other things. Like this is the worst border. Like Biden made it very clear to where places there was wall ready to be built up.
But we sold the supplies for less money.
For less money than we bought it. And you're sitting there going, why would you do that? Like you're purposely just
that's a negative
wasting
for
away
taxpayer dollars. Yeah,
wasting away money, and then
just to prove a point.
You're gonna act just to say what Trump did was bad, just to then 3 years later have to be like, why isn't he supporting me trying to fix the problem that I created? Like you're sitting there going, dude, what are you talking about?
It's weird, man. It's weird how they want it to be open, because I don't see a positive for the country at all, because they're not paying taxes.
There's a positive for big business of low wage workers.
That's sad. That's bad. Yeah.
That's about the only positive, honestly.
That's no good for anybody except for big business.
Not really even a good positive.
And I think you're right. Unfortunately, I do think that human trafficking has a big part in it. I don't know.
Oh, it definitely does, because I think it's. I wouldn't be surprised if we have part of it, but it's. I think that's definitely a big part of it, because they literally can just go to people anywhere.
Oh,
and they get sent to like sponsors.
Yeah.
And they literally are saying, we don't know where these kids are at.
No, and
it's insane. And it blows my mind.
They're trafficking them from all over the world and then putting them this out. And then dude, they're saying they'll have different color wristbands, and like according to the wristbands, they're going to like different like cities and just being like sold as slave. Like it's
insane.
I think honestly that's probably the biggest issue. As of right, like global issue is the human trafficking, the sex trafficking, child sex trafficking.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It's bad. It's something that I think it's just so like lowly talked about, because you have like so Epstein, weird. Who's like one of the biggest figures in that space, and you just don't get any information about it. It's
still haven't released the file.
By the way, sorry about that. You just don't get to know any information.
Are we gonna get canceled for this? Are we gonna be able to post it?
Huh?
Are we gonna be able to post this?
I mean, it's just true. They're giving out.
Oh, I know it's true.
They're giving out some information. Like you just want to know the information. It's human trafficking. Like I wouldn't think that that's a controversial issue to want to know the people who were involved in the human trafficking ring.
It's so.
You would think that would be pretty. And I understand the issue with people, because if your name is associated with it, everyone's just going to assume what you were doing. But he was doing a lot of things trying to associate himself with big name people.
Right.
But it's when you've been on the plane 20 times.
Yeah,
It's starting to get a little
Yeah.
suspicious.
that's suspicious. If
And-
you pull up
yeah,
to the first time
yeah.
and
If you've
Stephen
done it
Hawkins
twice,
over there with his
yeah.
midgets, and you're like, wait a minute, bro, I don't think, no, that's not me. I'm gonna hop back in
That
the
doesn't look
PJ.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's cool because that's what it was. I mean, they were luring him there, so like anybody can get lured, but it depends on like what you do when you get there. But
Yeah. Well, Kevin Spacey said he was on the plane for a humanitarian mission for the Clinton Foundation. The plane they used was Epstein's plane, and there was young girls on the plane.
I'm no expert.
That's not a good story.
But wasn't
Did
he
you
like
know?
convicted?
Did you know that he was not convicted of any like
That's crazy.
or Epstein was of course convicted, but Clinton
Was he even
hush
convicted?
money, 800,000, all this. Donald Trump convicted 34 counts though.
34. That's insane.
If you write down, you pay the lawyer, and then you write it down as a legal expense. That is falsifying business records.
That is one thing that I feel like the Democrats messed up on was trying to go after him legally. I mean, Trump said it in a debate, like, dude, his numbers went up, but dude, his campaign website, the donation crashed.
Yeah, everyone
Like,
was donating.
I mean, if that doesn't speak for the people, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like things are shifting. Like, during Biden's like first couple terms, like, I feel like people that were definitely more left and center were like happy and like all excited, but like I've seen a lot of them that are like, I just don't have as much money as I used to have. Like groceries are 4 times more expensive than they were. Like my insurance is more expensive, my home is more expensive, interest rates more. Like I mean, it doesn't take a smart person to figure that out. That's for
You
sure.
can't sit there and watch that debate and then be like confident in that being your leader. Like he was just, it was like we were talking about earlier. I feel bad a little bit because he was just struggling to get through the words. It sounded like he needed to have water the whole time. Like it was not good. It just really was bad. And you're sitting there going like, why are you putting this man through this? Like I clearly understand. And he did. I think he did okay. He only really stumbled really bad once.
Yeah.
And he like
That's fair.
completely lost track.
It was 90 minutes, dude. That he did
He
better
did
than
well.
he did.
No.
He was standing at
Yeah.
and he didn't walk off the stage. He didn't shit his pants. He didn't start telling like a childhood story that wasn't true.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe, but
He got a little stuttery when they started arguing, but I think he was feisty. I have to say though,
he was more feisty than I thought he
he
would be.
came prepared to go at Trump.
I think he was more feisty than Trump was. Yeah.
Yeah, he called him a sucker and a loser.
Which I think Trump played the right card by playing it a little cool.
There was a few questions that he avoided.
He did,
but I think it was more that he did. I feel like he kind of wanted to answer the question, but he wanted to respond to what he said more than he wanted to answer your question.
See,
he just needed to answer it quickly at the end, and he didn't do that because he just wanted to get back at him.
Yeah, no,
he kept saying stuff that you're just like, dude, this is false. This is just not true.
When they asked him about a separate Palestinian state, he was like, "We'll see," and then kept going to what he was like. He was like, "But back to Ukraine," and you're like, "We'll see." That's so funny.
Yeah. He said, "Hell." They tried to do it though. He tried to do it in his first term, and he had
to do what?
Like get a deal between Palestine and Israel.
Oh yeah.
And that's one of the things he actually ran on in 2016. And he even said when he talked about it in the debate, he was like, "I'm going to try to get this done. I know this is an incredibly tough deal. Like this is one of the toughest blah 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 blah." And for him, he's usually like, I'm the best ever. This is going to get done in a day. So for him to say he was going to try, I knew it was going to be tough, but he didn't get it. But he said that I forget, there was an audio tape of him saying, he said, the whole time I thought the Palestinians were the one that didn't want peace and blah, blah, blah. And he said, after this process, he said, Netanyahu's the one that appears doesn't want peace and blah, blah, blah. So it's interesting because he also supports clearly very strongly And I understand the reasons he has behind it because you want to support an ally, and I think that's what you should do. And I just think a combination of what Trump said with what Biden said of saying you just got to be careful with very large bombs in public areas. I feel like that's basic.
Why are
But I
there
don't
any
think
very
Trump. I
large
don't think
bombs?
Trump doesn't believe that. I
Yeah,
just think
yeah.
he's
No.
going to portray that to the general and not to the TV because when you tell it to the general, it doesn't get to Iran. But
Right.
whenever you say it to the TV, it gets to Iran.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference in that thing. But
There just shouldn't be any large bombs. Like why? Like there's why can't we just not kill people like women and children with like big bombs? Like on both sides. Like I just don't understand it.
Yeah, but that's just not reasonable.
Isn't it though? But just because one is invading into the other, so I feel like there is some like reasonable answer there that would include not
So you
blowing up
give up
people.
you give up, in my opinion, you give up the ability to be like, yeah, this is totally horrific. When you're also shooting missiles back at them, even as much as it's not gonna do anything, and they know it's not gonna do anything, you know it's really not gonna do anything. You're still doing it, and you still do it initially. It's like you can't just act like that didn't happen.
Everybody's just shooting missiles at each other.
Yeah, no,
Just
I
for the
think
fuck
it's
of it.
very dumb. Yeah, exactly. Just stop. Exactly. Just stop that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's too much money going to him. There's too much money going to the wars. 200 billion to
I was about to say right
Ukraine.
here, $200 billion to Ukraine. Trump was talking about. So he
For
said
what?
Zelensky is the best salesman ever.
60. He walked out with 60 billion at
Yeah,
first. Came
every
in.
single time.
That's
Every
a
single
$60 million, $60 billion sale. That's insane.
Yep.
He it's strange. I don't understand why we're sending that much money. Biden's main answer in the debate was Putin said he was going to keep pushing to Poland and Belarus. Like, dude, he made him sound like he was like Hitler. Like he made him like he was just pushing across Western Europe, and you're like, wait a minute. And
it's just
Putin
like
never said that.
Yeah, well, just try to go find a video of Putin that says that. You know what I mean? You can find plenty of videos of Putin saying he will invade Ukraine if you keep trying to get NATO in. There's plenty of videos of that. Try to find a video of him saying, "I'm going to go invade Poland." That's what we're trying to do.
So Putin says, "Yo, don't put NATO in Ukraine," and then Biden's like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna put NATO in Ukraine," and then Putin got mad, right? Is that
the U.S. also kind of technically overthrew their government in Ukraine in 2014. So technically, the scenario would be if Russia had a military alliance with damn near every country in the world other than us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and like all the South American countries, and they didn't have Mexico. We were holding on for Mexico. We were like, you better not get Mexico. Okay, please, you better not get Mexico.
We want all the illegals.
And then, because they didn't have control of that government, they overthrew the government with a coup. Okay, like Russia overthrows the Mexican government with a coup to put in their leaders. Okay, and then they're actively still trying to put in the military alliance in Mexico. Do you think that we would bomb Mexico?
Fuck yeah, dude. When Russia put like, dude, like a little bit of stuff in Cuba.
They put a submarine. They put some missiles in Cuba, and it was like, yo, the whole world's finna end if you don't stop.
And it just makes zero sense. I cannot comprehend. Like I still have yet to hear somebody give me a good answer on why $200 billion is going to Ukraine. Other than if you give the BS story that's debunked, that's saying Putin's just gonna take over like all of Western Europe and take on NATO. Like it doesn't make any sense. $200 billion.
This is what Biden had to say after this. Okay, he did say Putin is a war criminal, and do you think he will stop? Okay, and then he said we give them weapons, not money. Which what they mean is they give the defense contractors money which means they give themselves and their shares in their company money, and then that gives weapons to go kill people in a different country. And then those same
You get a
shareholders
kickback.
get the money for the reconstruction, Halliburton style. Yeah.
So they're they're making money. They're they're making money blowing shit up, and then they're making money building the shit back up. It's
And think of
insane.
the moral high ground you get to be like, look at us.
Look at us
We'll
do
come and
this.
rebuild your stuff just for you.
It's crazy, dude.
And you were like, but you just blew it up.
That's BlackRock. That's what BlackRock does.
You just blew it up, though. Hold on. This isn't okay.
That's the problem is politicians are making money off of war. Like that's just that just can't be a thing, dude. It's never gonna be good if people are making so much money off of the war. Like I don't know what the answer to that is, but
Someone has to be creative enough to make a product that is somehow more profitable than war. Because right now, there's nothing better. There's nothing that makes it happen like war.
yeah, dude, they'd be shooting off like cannons of like $2,000.
Exactly.
$2,000.
So you got to find something that is somehow you can generate more money than war.
Yeah, I think they'll just.
I
think they just
gonna
keep
be
going with
mining
the
the
war.
asteroids,
Yeah,
so you know,
mining asteroids would be sweet.
it's gonna be mining the asteroids. One thing that Trump said, which I actually kind of agree with, and it's kind of part like the sad part. But he was I forget exactly what he was talking about, but he said it was some sort of issue, and he said Biden he doesn't want it to be, he just doesn't even know. And I think a lot of the things kind of feel that way with him. It's like he doesn't really know what's going on. Like someone told him what to say here and there. So like, what do you think? But then also, Biden said that Trump is less competent than him. So
I thought it was good where Trump pointed out that he'd taken 2 cognitive tests and he was like they said it was one of the best cognitive tests they've ever seen.
Never been one better.
Yeah, it's so funny. I think it would be nice for him to publish those results, but like at the same time,
you want to see Biden?
Biden, yes, absolutely. I think it should be required. Like to be president of the United States, you can't take a fucking cognitive test. I feel like that's fair. I feel like if the American people want you to take a cognitive test, you need to take a cognitive test. I feel like it's kind of a middle finger to everybody if you don't like if that's what they want, which I feel like a lot of people would enjoy that.
You don't trust the people in our government. They say that he's sharp behind the scenes, bro. You know you fall for the cheap fakes that we've been seeing. Come on. Obama didn't really like pull him off the stage. That wasn't real. That didn't happen, bro.
He didn't shit his pants.
Yeah, on the French stage, that didn't happen, bro. You're lying.
Dude, he just be walking off.
Your eyes did not see that.
He'll just be walking off. Like he'll just be there, and he'll just like walk off. It's insane. It's crazy. Or he'll just start like mumbling. Anyway,
I think it's finally that the Democrats have, because they're not idiots. They know what's going on. They know he's not the best, but they were hoping he would do better than that. They were hoping the drugs would work. They would kick in a little bit better. You know, he'd really get that juice going. He got what he had at the State of the Union. You know, he was out there really prepped and ready to go. He didn't have it though. He started off and he stumbled initially, and I think his confidence was kind of. Yeah, I don't know. He brought it back though. He was feisty. He was out there cussing.
Yeah, he was cussing. Yeah,
he was going for it. I was kind of proud of that little part. I can't lie. Slightly, I was like, "All right, Joe, look at you."
No, yeah, because I don't even associate like him with the party.
That's
or like
fair point.
Any of the beliefs or like what he's saying. So he's just really just an old dude up on the stage. So yeah, when an old guy's gonna get fired up, I'm gonna get a little fired up. Like I think it's pretty funny. I think maybe they just duke it out, dude. Maybe just
your swing. You're wearing a 6 handicap.
Insane, dude. They do. They just need to golf it out, dude. 18 holes for the president.
Yeah, that's a pay-per-view event, bro. We got to get Dana White. It's a pay-per-view event.
Then they should just start throwing hooks if we're getting Dana involved.
Hey, Biden said he was gonna take him. He wanted to take him behind the barn, bro. That's what he said.
Take him behind the barn sexually?
I don't think it was sexually. It could have been.
Violently? Dude, you never know.
It's Pride Month, but you never know.
Dude. I gotta keep my scholarship.
You never know, bro.
Dude, why do veterans get a day, but then there's a whole Pride Month?
There's a lot of things that, and especially with holidays, that I think it's just you can fill out things to get holidays. If that's something you want to do, you can probably end up getting it.
Dude, there is
for certain groups, it's more important.
There is a holiday. There's like
there's holidays for everything. So
stick your dick in a donut day, and it's like, what? What are you talking about?
I think that's what it is. Is they feel
punch a snow globe day.
They feel like
what?
There's more people that to try to get the awareness to get there.
But is it a bigger apple? Like, is it a bigger form if you're trying to apply for a whole month? Like, what else has a month? There's Black History Month.
Base every other race, but white. There's not like a White History Month. But there's Native. I know there's like Native and Hawaii. There's like
I feel like
Native or island.
I feel like yeah. I feel like Pride Month gets by far the most coverage though. What's up with that?
I don't know. Black History Month, Women's Month, Women's.
There's a Women's Month.
I'm pretty sure March. Yeah, and then yeah, it's cool. I think the issue was the corporations really sold it and went for it.
That's weird. That's strange.
But the problem was they had the support of the community, and it was kind of like, all right, like that's what you support, like fine. I don't have any problem with gay people at all. But the problem was, as soon as it was not profitable for them to support it, they immediately pulled back.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they made it very clear, like, we are not here to support you. We are here to try to make money.
Oh, yeah.
And we thought that you were making money.
You thought you would make us money.
No
we
longer
thought you
were doing that, so fuck you.
Well, they don't have a rainbow logo all year. Like, it's just
like, bam.
If it was profitable, it would be all year.
Get that shit out of there. Like, it's insane. It's
that
actually crazy.
I thought the Bud Light thing was insane. Like, you really had people pointing at you and say, like if you were holding a Bud Light for a 45-day period,
still be doing
you were like, you're drinking gay beer, and you're like, what? I just grabbed it out of the ice, man. It's not even my beer, dude. It's like, you're gay, and you're like, what? But it was crazy, dude. Like, it's I don't know. Everybody, I don't know, dude. It's insane.
Oh,
but then they got away, and they're like,
anytime I say Bud Light, they're like, oh, and I'm like, yo, come on. Listen, they sent a bunch of cans out, y'all. It can't be that bad.
But people get so swayed and put into that box.
They put out a little bait, and people just
they hop on it fast.
And it's like, oh my god. Think about all the transgender hate that was driven up because of that. You know what I mean? People just hate that shit's so funny.
Dude.
And it's like, I don't do whatever you want. And I just don't want you to do it to kids. But it's just so funny because it's like you can rile them up so fast. You literally just give
everybody gets riled up so fast these days.
One can, and it was over with.
Well, and especially in Alabama, there's just so many diehard conservatives that have drank Bud Light their entire life. Like that's their beer of choice was Bud Light, and that comes out, and it's just I don't know. It's just so.
It was
funny.
Emotional.
Oh, people got serious about it.
Dana tried to save him. Dana really had to come in and be like, "Listen,
that's respectable."
Listen, y'all.
He's like, "It's not that big a deal."
Okay.
I think they know they messed up. So, but I mean, how long do you think it takes till they get back their image? A few years.
I think they're getting better. The UFC's helping them a lot.
But for a while, dude, people. I mean, I can't lie, dude. Now, if I'm sitting there and it's like a Miller Lite and a Bud Light, I'm gonna pick Miller.
Really?
I think so. Not even because of maybe it's because because I'm thinking other people are gonna call me the gay beer guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think it's I don't think
pressure?
I'm choosing. Yeah. I don't
pressure. That's even worse.
Yeah. That's funny. It's true though, dude.
No, I don't.
They'd be like, "You're gay."
I don't think that that drinking Bud Light is gay.
I don't think so
I don't
either.
think it's gay to drink Bud Light.
I don't think so either.
Now, maybe,
But
I
a
don't
lot
know,
of people
maybe,
do.
maybe slightly, bro.
A lot of people do think that, though.
Hey, it's a possibility, bro. It could be like symptoms, bro. It's like a gateway drug, bro. You know, it could be something like that, but you never know.
Start with a Bud
But
Light.
yeah, you start with a Bud Light, you get a little drunk. You never know. I don't know. Yeah, I
That
don't know
shit
what's gonna happen.
good. Like, what? That'd be crazy. You said the more Bud Light you drink, just the gayer you become.
Someone probably made a meme like that during that time, bro. Oh, that's hilarious. But one thing I did want to ask. This is probably like one of the biggest things to me, because when people say like, "Oh, did you think the election was stolen?" Whatever, and it's like there was election interference, and this is probably the biggest piece of evidence is there was 51 intelligence agents that said that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation. Okay, so Hunter Biden just got convicted of a felony where they put that laptop into evidence. Okay, like the FBI put the laptop in evidence, meaning like it is 100% not Russian disinformation. It is factual.
And he smokes crack.
Well, that's why he got. That's what he got arrested for. But that's besides the point, honestly.
Yeah,
the crack is really not.
It's
the problem.
really the minute
The video
problem.
of him smoking crack is actually, to me, fucking hilarious.
Oh, I think
cannot
it's
lie
hilarious.
to you.
I think it's hilarious.
I do not blame him. I do not blame him for the smoking of the crack. I blame him for lying on the document and saying he didn't smoke the crack.
Well, dude,
he shouldn't have lied. But no, this is my point. He shouldn't have lied about the crack. The problem is,
yeah, you gotta own up to the crack.
The problem is he has owned up to the crack. The problem is that there's like bribery and like other schemes that like you could consider
way bigger problems,
literal treason of the country.
Yeah.
That like they're in there, and you're like, well, let's get to those issues, and it's like, no, it's just fake. It's Russian information. It's like, no, this is 100% real. So, what do you think about that, Brian? Tell me your thoughts. And should there be repercussions for the 51 intelligence agents that signed off on this, and then they now come out and say, "Oh, by the way, yeah, we were all wrong."
Well, that's what
complete horseshit.
I think that is the start of the issue. Is these three-letter organizations, CIA, NSA, FBI, the American people don't trust them anymore. Like, we've seen them be weaponized, raid on Mar-a-Lago. Like we can see the control that the administration can have over those. So basically, nobody trusted. Like, you could say 51 hobos signed it. Like it I think it's about the same thing to like.
Well, the social
most
media
people.
companies trusted it enough because it was the government that they literally censored and like canceled people's whole like livelihoods because of it.
Well, there's emails, right? Like I think Zuckerberg had to stand on some BS trial, but like it was.
Well, he said it on Joe Rogan. That
yeah.
Was like, yeah, they came out and told us this information.
So you have like a political candidate, his son, who, dude, like living it up. I mean, dude, you're the vice president's son. You're just
it's not
inviting hookers and smoking crack all day.
It's not even the crack though. That's embarrassing as it is. But no one's gonna get mad because he has hookers and crack.
No, yeah,
they're gonna go, don't do that.
Yeah,
come on, man, don't do that.
Right.
But when you look at the other thing and you go, well, hold on, why did the Biden family get $15 million in this period of time from 2014 to 2021? And you're like, why'd that happen? And that's a whole different topic.
Yeah, prosecutor with the
It has nothing to do with you smoking crack. And also like having to get prosecuted.
Maybe, dude. Okay, but didn't he just drop his laptop off at like some computer repair? He had to be high on crack. Yeah,
he forgot.
So maybe the crack was part of his.
Well, the
issue.
crack was the reason he left it at the repair store. You should have known that.
So did he? Does that mean he like? Well, he had to forget it, so he was just like blasted. He
Imagine
probably was.
You're him, and you have videos of you smoking crack, and you gave it to some random dude at the store. And you just forget.
Wait, like out of all the things, what was he even taking it there for? Like maybe he just.
It was probably a problem with the computer. Like there's all types of shit that goes wrong with your computer, you know.
He could, but that is just, dude.
You
he had to be on
crack.
Crack.
Able to take it somewhere better. Yeah, that's fair. That is fair,
dude.
No, there was another one of Joe Biden's daughters left her diary somewhere. like her
Oh
real
yeah,
diary,
yeah. They snagged that
saying
bitch.
that she took inappropriate showers and shit. It was weird. But
He
it's
sniffs a
true.
lot of
She said it
kids.
was true.
Oh
She was
yeah,
like, "Yeah,
they were
this is
trying
my
to argue
diary."
that diary doesn't exist, and it
Yeah,
like the laptop, it does in fact
it is real.
exist.
Of
I
course,
just
it's
don't
real.
understand.
The Russian collusion in 2016 was made up by Hillary Clinton. Imagine that your foundation pays for a fake story to be put out about your direct political opponent, and it's just like, yeah.
Well,
What do
they
you
do, dude.
What do you mean?
You can slap 30 plus felonies on them now. It
Yeah, it
doesn't matter. Doesn't
It doesn't
matter.
matter what you do.
It's weird, dude. I don't know. I don't like why he's just like sniffing kids. Like what's all that? Like what do you
Yeah,
mean to let? There's so many videos of him just
he
giving a
has done
whiff.
some weird sniffs. That's
Just
fair. I guess that's not alleged, but
what's that about?
I don't know, man. I can't describe it. I can't describe that sniff thing for
I
you,
don't
bro.
know, dude. I think
Do you think that Joe Biden ran because of Charlottesville?
no, dude.
I thought that was a great comment he made because it was kind of just out of pocket. He's very known for making up. Like he lies. I think what it is, he gets in the heat of the debate,
Yeah,
and then he's like, "I want to sound good,
but he does it in
so
speeches
I'm
too.
gonna lie."
Yeah,
And then he's like, because he said I was a 6 handicap, and then as soon as Trump tries him on it, he's like, "Okay, well it was an 8," and then it's like, "Oh well, if it's an
they're still shooting 80.
so you're lying. Like, are you? So you were lying then? Like, oh, what are you
Still
going?
lying.
Come on, you can't just be like, okay, well I was a little off. I'm exaggerating a
Dude,
little bit."
I say they just duke it out. Like I feel like that would be the most old school way to do it. You just put both
Just
of them
say
in
you
a
have a good
cage.
handicap. Don't put a specific number and then change the number.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
dude. I think Trump would actually put him out with the left hook. Like
They're not gonna fight. They're both
maybe.
108,
I wish they could.
185 years old. They're not gonna fight.
Dude, they're so old. Why? Like
But Trump,
why
okay,
80-year
Trump is
olds?
78, but he
He
doesn't. He's
no,
fine.
he seems fine.
Biden, it seems like he's about to fall over at any point.
But I still feel like
I would
78
love to have someone
and
who's
80
younger.
year
Yes,
olds
you're right.
aren't connect. Like it's just not quite the same. I don't know. Yeah, no.
I think
And
you can be.
how
It
about
depends on the person.
how they didn't let RFK in the debate?
Well, okay, so didn't let, and there's also historical like uh requirements of like poll numbers,
It's fair.
and he did not get to those poll numbers. So
See, fuck. Like who makes that?
it has been at least a historical mark that wasn't just specific for this year. To be fair to them, like if he would to reach those marks, I think he may get put into the next one.
I think there should always. I think three. I think
I
three.
think
would
it's a
be
fair
sweet.
point to say that he should be able to go in there, but I think that the debate was good between them two because if we're being honest, we know he's not going to win. RFK's not going to win. I think he can have a big effect, but he's not going to win. Those are going to be the two candidates.
It's fair.
And I think that's probably not the worst thing, to be honest with you. Now, I do believe that the independent candidate is a huge, huge thing, but I think it needs to be someone that I love RFK and everything he stands for.
It has to be more people.
Yeah,
behind him.
It needs to just be a bigger popularity person because it's going to take something incredible to actually beat the two-party system. So
Yeah, you need like a Arnold, like Arnold or like The Rock or somebody.
But even them, it would be really.
They would be corrupted. No,
it would be really tough.
I do think that's what I would like to see though. Would be a third. I just don't like how it's either like this or that, and I think it's too divided.
Well,
I think that's what they push for.
A lot of people are independents, and we just feel that it's either this or that. And most of the time, it is just that because there's really not a third party candidate,
right?
Or RFK is closer to a third party, like a real third party
closer than a long time
I've ever seen. I've definitely never seen one. But I mean, I've only seen a few like elections.
Wasn't the other one like? Wasn't the last one like Bush? Wasn't that right? It was like.
I don't even remember. That's the thing. I can't even remember a name of a third party person. Other than I think Jill Stein maybe 1 year was one. I don't remember exactly, but it doesn't really matter. because I think eventually there's going to be someone that can do it. But we'll see. But what do you think, bro? Final prediction for the, or I guess final thoughts on the debate, bro. How do you think? You think, uh, you think Biden put on a good performance? You think he did better than what you expected? What do you think about it, man?
Yeah, no, I think Biden did better than I expected. I was also like I was ready for him to just do something um, dumb, but I think he did better than I expected. I don't think he did as good as Trump. I think both of them dodged questions, but I don't know. Biden just said a lot of stuff that just wasn't true. Uh, and I don't know. It was interesting to see like all the Democrats concerned after the debate. That's interesting. They usually play as a team, but I don't know. I don't know who else like they could put put up at this point without looking weak. And if that's the case, I don't know if Biden can
I
pull it
think
through.
I think that they think they look weak now, and they are gonna try to fix that. But I don't think that means they're gonna replace him. I think that means they're gonna try to see if they could find someone that they think could be better, which I don't think there is. There's gonna be someone who could pull better.
Dude, that's
Uh,
insane. Like,
but
there's nobody
maybe
on the whole left side that could be
well,
better.
Newsom is someone who's a very good politician. Like if you're
Ugh,
talking about
that
in a
guy gives
debate,
me the creeps,
if you're talking
dude.
about in a debate, he's someone who could do it. But he's not a good like policy guy.
Something about that guy is just
It's freaky.
slimy, dude.
It's freaky. He's
He,
good at what he does, though. It's freaky.
that dude is a demon. I don't know. Something's not right with
I
him.
don't know if he's a demon, but he's. It's interesting. You feel like you're never gonna get him to say he was wrong
Or the truth, yeah.
anything that's actually honest. Like you always are getting this facade of spin and
Well, you have to when your
spin
whole
and just
state is
politics.
like everybody's leaving.
Yeah, it's not looking good. You know, they came out and they were like, "Yeah, our job numbers are just we were capping about those. We lost a bunch of jobs actually."
How could you
They
not?
like came out and said that. And
Dude,
it's like what?
there's so many people that moved to Florida from Cali now. It's insane. And like Cali's dope. Like I'm sure they would rather be in Cali, but like
Well, they
when
just
half of
they
your
have
checks
to
getting
leave.
taxed, like yeah, and there's a bunch of homeless people on like the dude. How about when Newsom cleaned up all the homeless people shit,
Yeah,
like literal shit for the Chinese president to come?
he came out and was like, whenever people come and visit your home, you clean up. How about you clean up whenever we're here? How about
Yeah,
that,
it's
bro?
still your home. Yeah, how about yeah?
You just gonna leave shit on the floor? That's what you're gonna do? You're gonna leave shit on
Oh,
the
it's
floor.
just you, bro.
All
Yeah,
right.
watch out for this shit. It's insane.
That's a good way to end it. We're gonna leave shit on the floor with Gavin Newsom. Hopefully not, but we'll see how the election goes. I think it's gonna be really fun. The next debate, we'll do another reaction afterwards. I think we'll be back in Ttown.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's gonna get interesting, man. I've asked this question before. Just if you do believe the last election was tampered with in any capacity, which a lot of people do, that caused a different outcome, and if that were to happen again, like if it's already rigged, like if it's already tampered with, and if that were to happen again, I just wonder how many times that can happen without people like grabbing the guns. But
Well, I hope
that's where I'll leave it. I hope it doesn't either. I just
really bad thing.
it's done it once. I will.
Because
We'll see if it keeps happening. If it does, dude, I don't know.
The thing is, you got to go out and vote. They even showed it in the last thing with all the things that I think that they did. Even Trump did say it because I think he said he needed 22,000 more votes. Like that was the actual margin of like the electoral college votes that he would have needed. So it was very very close, and I think the trust in Biden is like if it was here, it's like through the floor.
Well, there were videos of people just like dumping ballots like in the ditch, dude. Or like they would like close it off where like some people like couldn't like go in to like the buildings and stuff, and it's like, oh, I also don't know how, but like all of that needs to be like eliminated. Like any gray area in voting,
IDs,
paper ballots is
pretty
retarded.
simple, I think.
It's stupid.
It's not racist to have a voter ID. It's just not. There's no way. There's just no way. It can't be. Listen. I know a bunch of black people, and they're all smart enough to be able to get an ID. Like they're all normal people. Like they can definitely get an ID. Like I don't think how that's racist for me to say.
It's racist for them to say that it's an issue.
The New York
like
governor says black people don't know what computers are.
that is crazy.
They don't even know the word. She literally said that.
Biden was like,
what are you talking about?
If you don't buy, like, if you don't buy vote Democrat, you ain't
black.
That's racist. Or Lemon, when Lemon was like in interviewing Elon. Lemon? Yeah, when he was interviewing Elon. It's just like they say these things that would put like in a disadvantage when it
if you lower the standards. Well, are you trying to say that black people can't do the job? No. I'm trying to say if you lower the standards for the surgeons and people, then you'll probably have more people die because the standards aren't as good. That's all I'm saying.
And he said that was racist.
Yeah, and you're like,
that is racist in saying that's a racial issue.
The standards because they can't hit the standards.
That that is racist, Don Lemon. Don Lemon, that's racist. Don't be racist.
Don't be racist. No, so one thing, first official sponsor of the Convo Coop show is going to be Ttown Teas. They're sponsored. Two of the founders here. Another one not here with us right now, but we're going to be able to go to thepeoplestees.biz and get all of our shirts right now. And there's going to be a discount, probably 5% off. There'll be a link in the description down below. Check that out and support the podcast if that's what you want to do. And also support us and Ttown Teas. We're going to be looking at a bunch of different shirts and everything. And, yeah.
Oh, man, I appreciate you having me on, man. It was fun. It was a good time.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate